Okay, welcome to our latest Swampcast. We are in Memorial Gym still. We just got done with our stories. Kevin Brockway and Pat Dooley of the Gainesville Sun. And pretty good night for the Gators. I tell you, I don't know if there's a team in the country playing any better than Florida right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, really the balance has really been the key. You know, all five starters reaching double figures tonight. And just the way it seemed like, you know, they were able to withstand some runs and play really matured and poised down the stretch. Even made free throws, you know, 21-27, 17-20 in the second half. They did the things they were supposed to do to make winning plays. And you're really seeing, I think, a growth and maturity in this team that, you know, probably will serve it, you know, well heading into the postseason.
Yeah, and I think, too, what you saw today was a team that's got, you know, several big men that can come in. I mean, they had 10 fouls to play with at the center spot where they didn't have that last year. You know, they've got 10 fouls at the power forward spot. So when they had some foul troubles, and we knew it was coming because they were going to feed Festus Ezeli, Florida could bring in Patrick Young, they could bring in Murphy. And they got things done that way, too.
Yeah, even got some minutes from Eged, and, you know, they got 14 points from their bench. I mean, Young had 9 points. Scotty Wilbekin helped out. Casey Prather even came in for some minutes. So, you know, the bench, the depth really helps them. I think, you know, probably the key to Florida's success this season is, you know, 1 through 9, 1 through 10 probably have the best roster in the league.
Yeah, and I think to come into this environment, again, it was my first trip here. I will tell you, it's odd. I like it. I like it because it's different, and everything else is about the same. But it's a strange place. So one thing about it, though, Kevin, is you realize it when you're here is just how back the seats go.
Yeah.
You know, we're at the O-Dome, people are right on top of you. They just go straight back. I mean, and that's why even though it got loud in there, I don't know if it was that loud on the court.
And a lot of space on the floor too. But then certainly underneath the basket, you have those benches, and you saw that coming into play with Kevin Stallings getting the technical when he was irate with that charge call, and it was 54-53. And I think Florida really, like a mature team did, really kind of seized that momentum, was able to, you know, extend it. Boynton hit the 2 free throws to begin, then obviously, hit a big 3, and that really got Florida going again. Created, you know, gave them a little cushion down the stretch that they needed to pull out the win.
Yeah, it's amazing. Who'd have thought that on the same day we see 2 coaches out on the floor getting technicals, Rick Stansbury getting in the Mississippi State game. It was a tough. I mean, look, block charge is always arguable. I think where he got really upset was that Bert, whose name escapes me now, Bert Smith, the one referee called the block, and Tony Green called the charge, and it was Tony Green's call, though, because he was under the basket. But, you know, with this team, we've talked about resiliency. Billy's talked about resiliency all year, Kevin, and when you look at what they did, when Chandler gets posterized, he didn't want us to write about it, but everybody saw it, so we know it happened. We had to write about it. By Tinsley, which I didn't even know he could dunk until then. Yeah. And then they come back. What do? They score like the next 9 points. You know.
Yeah, 11-0 run.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then he's still taking the charge, the exact same kind of play on John Jenkins that starts that whole big run.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, it's different guys contributing at different times. And, you know, throughout that game, we kind of saw it. You know, Vanderbilt coach Kevin Stallings just kind of said they took turns on us. I mean, it was different guys doing different things. You know, Macklin had a really productive run near the end of the first half to get him that 38-30 lead. You know, and Alex Tice came up with some big putbacks. You know, 12th career double-double for him. 35-22 on the boards. They had 15 offensive rebounds. Really just kind of dominated, even though they were in foul trouble, really just kind of took it to them inside, you know, 14 second chance points. So they were really productive in those areas and really kind of maintained that aggressiveness, you know, establishing inside and then going outside in the second half of those big threes.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And 13-3, who would have thought that back when we were watching them lose to JU and UCF? I don't think any of us thought this team would go 13-3. But they tied the 2007 team for the best SEC record in Florida history. That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, you know, and obviously, you know, and then, you know, the 89 team had 13 wins too, but it was an 18-game season back then. So 13-3, a very productive, you know, and definitely a team worthy to be SEC champions. Now, where do they take it from here? You know, are they just satisfied with this, or do they use it as a springboard to go in the SEC tournament? You know, they weren't able to cut down the nets because obviously they were on the roads, but, you know, if you win the SEC tournament, you'll be able to do that in the Georgia Dome, and certainly Florida's in a pretty good position with the 1 seed in the East. You know, to be able to make that kind of run.
Yeah, and we're going to do a preview of the SEC tournament coming up next week. But I will tell you one thing, and I'm going to write a column about this. I mean, Florida's got to be the favorite. I mean, when you look around this league, I mean, I don't like Kentucky, even though they're going to have the crowd and everything on their side, but they don't play well away from Rupp. You know, Mississippi State, are they going to make another run like they always do? You know, who else? Who else would be the favorite? Not Alabama. Florida just killed them at home.
Yeah, I think Kentucky would be the only team that you're worried about because of their talent,
Right.
and Mississippi State's a team that's got a lot of talent too, but they're up and down, they're inconsistent, they don't defend very well. So those would be the two teams that I would look at that would have the talent to match with Florida, but I think it's a situation where Florida has to be the favorite, like you said.
Yep, and we will talk about that on at our next Swampcast. Until then, Pat Dooley and Kevin Brockway, the Gainesville Sun, live at Memorial Gym, saying so long from Nashville, Tennessee.